Welcome back to the port. I'm the Gallop Major, and this is Amateur Reports. Amateur Reports is your gameplays with my commentary. Now, today would have normally been a Sea Trials instead, but due to the French destroyer summary, which did take a little bit longer to actually edit and record and basically write up the script, unfortunately I've run out of time, and Sea Trials does take a bit more time and effort to do over Amateur Reports due to the tactical overlays that are required. So thought I'd take it a little bit easier instead and do a amateur report. Now this is a submission from Eternal Abyss, and he's playing the Tier 6 Premium Cruiser, the Belfast. This is a game of domination on Land of Fire. He spawned on the left next to Alpha, so he's moving to Alpha. Friendly Akatsuki, which is in the division with him, has pushed up. However, enemy Benson is there. And so we've got torpedo boat versus gunboat. So the Akatsuki gets her torpedoes out, but the Benson looks like she's pushing as well. And it looks like the Benson's actually leaving his smokescreen. He is within radar range of the Belfast as well, but it looks like he's got his eyes on the prize and is really focusing down on trying to get rid of the enemy Akatsuki. However, Eternal Abyss knocks his engines out, which does reduce his maneuverability. However, the Benson still gets his torpedoes out, and ouch, there goes the friendly division mate very early in the game, which is very painful. However, the Benson is overextended, caught out in the middle, and Eternal Abyss has got his sonar on just in case, but I think thankfully he's okay with that. However, here there's a nice opportunity, because the friendly Akatsuki laid smokescreen, he has got that option of bailing out into that smokescreen there. You can see he's checking it out, so he's probably looking at doing that. You can use the friendly smokescreen and you can capture the objective at the same time. So what we got down the other end of the range, we've got Colorado. Another battleship has just popped up on the minimap on his starboard side, so he's got to be getting that smoke nice and quickly because he's going to be broadside onto that battleship. Now on the enemy team, there is two Bensons, Icarus, a Fiji, a Nagato, a Colorado, two Fusos and a Scot, so it is a tier 5 and 6 game. And on the friendly team, there is a Mahan, a Benson, an Akatsuki, Eternal Abyss in his Belfast, a Lion, a Hood, a double Fuso and a Colorado. So it's a very battleship heavy game with only one cruiser per side. And in both cases, those cruisers are very light smoke cruisers from the British tech tree or premiums. Now, Belfast does differ from the tech tree cruisers of the British tech tree. The reason being is that she comes with high explosives and normal armor piercing, not British, but normal armor piercing. Laying his smokescreen overlaying the Akatsukis. That way, he's just making sure that he's holding on to this location. So the difference with the Belfast is she doesn't come with torpedoes as well. However, she does come with a radar, which is quite a nice addition, especially when you consider that she does have these rapid-fire 6-inch guns with high explosives instead. Also, she's quite a good pyromaniac. I don't think her shells have anything special, but it's just the amount that you can chuck down range. You can see that already, although it's only 100 and trying in the 120s, hits on target, where he has managed to get 6 fires already, and you can see that he's racking up the damage from the incoming fires. Still got a minute smokescreen, still defending Alpha, getting himself another fire on the enemy Fuso. So that's the nice thing about the Belfast coming with high explosives over her counterpart, the Fiji, because the Fiji's only got AP. However, I guess with the Belfast you have to make sure that you're picking the right type of ammunition for the scenario, whereas at least with the Fiji, you've only got one type of ammunition, you don't have to pick. Now, commander build, he has got the Azur lane Belfast commander, which her base trait reduces his detectability while firing smoke, and then his skills, he's gone for beyond range to increase the range of the main battery. He's also got Ignitor, which improves the fire chance, Punch Through, which improves the AP penetration, Fixated and Refill Station, so basically improving dispersion, accuracy and rate of fire. Now you'll see there that the Fuso managed to get a very good blind fire shot on the Eternal Abyss in his Belfast. However, that time the Fuso did aim just a little bit too high. That is one thing that we still have in this game. I think due to the lack of the kind of interfaces that you get on the PC, blind firing into a smoke screen can be quite a difficult thing to master. Sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't, but at least the Fuso is trying, and that is more than can be said with quite a lot of the player base at times. I know because I play smoke cruisers a lot and I don't see many people try. When they do try, I know what to do in order to counter it. Getting himself fire number 10 of the game already, already up to 200 hits on target, and we're only looking at about 55,000 damage. Now, points wise, it's in Eternal Abyss's team's favour, even though they only have one cap, and oh, it switches now because the enemy do sink the friendly lion. Just seeing a destroyer on the minimap sneaking up on Eternal Abyss at his stern. Yep, the Icarus being highlighted by the hood. So just waiting to see if Eternal Abyss clicks. You might already know he's there. There we go. So quickly making the maneuver, but that Icarus is far too close. On goes the sonar just in case the Icarus gets torpedoes out. But at the moment, hold on to that radar until the Icarus pops away. Wait till your guns are fully reloaded, and then you can pop your radar, and then you can absolutely tear a destroyer to pieces. And now the Icarus has kind of realised his mistake. He's pushed in too close to a radar cruiser, and he's probably got... If he could dodge maybe the next 2 volleys, he might be able to get away. Oh, are we going to get him? Nice, nice. And backing up from the predicted torpedoes from the Icarus, thank God for having the sonar on as well. Time to pop the last smoke screen of the game. So, personally, this is one of the things that I don't like with the Azur lane Belfast commander, is her lack of fully packed in order to get an additional smoke screen. Having lots of smoke screens is part of my playstyle. It's one of the reasons why I use a destroy build, but it is interesting to actually watch some gameplay using some of the alternative cruiser commanders which are out there. Get himself fire number 14 on the enemy Fuso. But Eternal Abyss's team is still down by about 80 points at the moment. Now, most of the enemies are pushed out of actual gun range now, and no one's spotting, so unfortunately that smokescreen has outseen its purpose. Fuso's burning up though, there's a potential that she might burn out. However, looking at the damage number, it's no longer racking up, so it looks like the Fuso actually managed to get her damage con off, but let's see how much HP she comes back with, because you never know. Sometimes battleships sulk off, they use about 3 repair parties and they come back with half health, so you've always got to watch out for that. That's why if you can, try and hound a battleship down. Don't give them the opportunity to break off an engagement, because they will just come back with an absolute bucket load of HP. So, and the other enemy Fuso is now coming in range, so it's time to get the barbecue lit. Getting 2 fires already. Now, unless I think the Fuso just teased out his damage con right at that moment. That was good timing from the Fuso to pop with the damage con just as you're going to get hit by another volley. At least then you can kind of guarantee that volley's not going to set a fire. However, he is still in range, and so the opportunity of being able to get another fire on him is still there. Eternal Abyss earned himself the high caliber medal there. Now, having to be quite cautious there, because you can see the Colorado is off to Eternal Abyss's port side, and so if they start focusing on him, that could be a bit dangerous. Gets another fire on the second Fuso, while he quickly gets a volley out on that last Fuso. So that last Fuso, he stayed within range, and that could be the end of him. Not quite, but the Fuso does get a sneaky volley over. Thankfully, it all falls a bit too far forward. simply because Eternal Abyss did manage to smash the propulsion down and put it in reverse. Colorado's moving in, Fuso's still burning up, and we've gone past the 100,000 damage mark. Now here, Eternal Abyss is starting to attract a little bit too much attention. Thankfully at the moment, the enemy can't seem to quite find their mark, so as long as he keeps the islands between him and the enemy, he might be able to stay unspotted. However, there's always a possibility that the Benson up in Bravo objective could be getting eyes on. We know it's a Benson because the enemy destroyers were 2 Bensons and an Icarus, and 1 Benson and the Icarus have already been killed. And there we go, that confirmation that the Benson is still alive. So that Colorado's... is he pushing in, or is he kind of... I think he might be considering his options. However, Eternal Abyss gets a fire on him. Gets himself the Witherer medal, which is fair enough, being he's up to 20 fires now with that ribbon that he's just earned. You kind of hope you'd get Witherer with 20 fires. So we know we got a Fuso out there with about 10,000 health. We've got a Fuso out there with about 5,000 or less health. Colorado's burning up. And all these battleships just seem to be distracted by the enemy battleships rather than the cruiser. There's that Fuso. He must have about 1,000 health, maybe less. Oh, Colorado gets a sneaky citadel straight into Eternal Abyss's stern, taking him down by about 10,000 health. But there goes the Fuso, earning him the Arsonist medal. And fire number 22. Oh, double strike, got rid of the Colorado, which burned out as well. The medals are racking up at the moment. Problem is, the enemy is still ahead. At the moment, they're ahead by about 100 points. Enemy Benson looks like he's got himself nicely anchored into the Bravo objective. He's just got to be careful not to overextend, but Benson's now showing himself, so Eternal Abyss is getting some high explosives downrange, but the Benson has been able to disengage. So what we got left on the enemy team, we know we got the Fiji, we got a Benson, we got a Fuso with about 10,000 health, and we got that Negative there, which still has about 3/4 health. And Eternal Abyss is only down to about 11,000 health, and in the Belfast, that is not a lot of wiggle room. He could lose that HP in probably 1 or 2 hits from an enemy battleship, so he has got to be very cautious on what he does. He hasn't got any more sonar, he has no more smoke, so it's going to be a little bit of hoping that he doesn't get focused, but he is able to get some rounds out on that enemy Fuso. However, Kraken denied by the hood. Fiji's moving too far, like moving away, so I don't think the Fiji is a high priority at the moment, so to focus on this Nagato is the right thing to do. They're getting the objective, but they're still about 50 points behind the enemy team. However, by capturing the centre objective, they could be able to turn this in their favour quite nicely. Now we saw briefly there that the Benson was spotted on the Eternal Abyss's starboard side on the other side of his island, and what you're seeing here is he's trying to get his turrets to turn round in between volleys on the Nagato. The reason being is as soon as you come around this corner of the island, you want to make sure your guns are ready for the Benson, and you can use your radar, there we go, to pick out the Benson. So at the moment, I think it's probably going to be the Benson or maybe the Fiji that could probably win the game for the enemy team. However, it looks like the Benson's throwing it, giving Eternal Abyss the Confederate medal and the Kraken Unleashed medal as well. Enemy Nagato is now being focused out by the rest of the team. That simply leaves the Fiji, and with 10 seconds to go, the points have finally flipped in Eternal Abyss's team's favour by about 150 points. And there we go, that was a really, really great submission. And now we go to the end screen. So here we are at the end screen. 163,000 damage, getting himself Witherer, Confederate, Kraken Unleashed, Double Strike, Arsonist, and High Caliber. 549 hits on target and 26 fires. So if you were trying to do some of those endurance missions, endurance trials, shakedown trials that you get with the campaign, this is one of those kind of games where you'd be able to complete multiple steps. Now, it should be noted that this game does include a 1.5 multiplier for the first win of the day, and also a epic credit booster. Going on to the end scores, that's a big difference between some of those members of the team. You got a good cluster of the team between about 1,000 and 1,600. You got a Turn of Best as the runaway winner, about 4,000 ship experience team, and then you got a pair of destroyers down at the 590. Enemy team, they've got a nice cluster really between about 800 and 1,200, with their outliers being the Benson at the top, being a good chunk ahead, and the snop at the bottom there, unfortunately. But yeah, all in all, a really nice game, a really great submission to go through. Going on to the economy tab, and I'm sure there's one line that we're all imagining here, so I'll put in the clip now.
$1 million.
Yes, $1 million, and that's after the ship service cost, which was only 88,000 due to this being a Tier 6 premium cruiser. The Tier 5 and the Tier 6 premiums do have a reduced ship service cost in comparison to the tech tree counterparts, and therefore they do make a very good money makers. In this case, being it was the first win of the day, he's also been able to make 10,000 ship XP from having a premium account, and when that doubles over to the Commander XP, that is a lovely chunk of Commander XP as well. So all in all, a really pretty penny across the board. Well, if you've enjoyed that Admiralty report, feel free to give the video a thumbs up. If you enjoy this kind of content, feel free to check out some of our other content. And if you want to, you can always subscribe. And to our existing subscribers, I'd like to say thank you for your comments, your contributions, your support, especially your submissions as well, which do make these viable. Matt, I have dropped you an email in regards to your Sharnhorse submission, so get back to me on that one if you can. This has probably been recorded before you have replied, at least. Also, do you guys want me to make a guide on how to capture and submit these? I do have a video capture card now on the PS4, so I can make that kind of guide. If you think that's going to be useful, let me know down in the comments. There are a lot of submissions in the email account. I do try and go through them all. I do try and pick whatever I think is going to be applicable at the time. And even if I haven't shown them, they're still being stashed away. And one day I might take clips out of them, or I might take a mixture of clips. So any submission is always much appreciated. Always, if you can, chuck in your commander build alongside it. It always helps give a bit of context to what you're doing. And then, or you can always let me know if you want it as Admiralty reports, or if you want it as a sea trials, which I have carded on the end screen as well, just as an example. But yeah, it's always much appreciated, and these wouldn't be possible without your contributions. So, thank you. Until next time, I'm the Guy from Major, and back to the port.